Welcome back to Lunch and Learn. I'm Brittany.
I'm Alex.
And we are back with another episode of our client scenario where you guys send us your information and we're here to kind of help you through a tricky situation and see if we can learn anything and help you through. So first, Alex, what do you have over there?
I'm still working on my pre-workout snack because I was chatting too much in the first video. I got my banana here still. I'm going to eat that eventually. And then my cereal is a nice little carb snack to work out. Got my second coffee, still working on that. Are you still working on your same snack or lunch?
Sad protein shake, unsponsored. If Fairlife wants to sponsor us, we'll take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If anyone missed us from a previous episode, I had this whole grand lunch planned that my time management skills failed me. So here I am with the protein drink. But that happens. Real life, everybody. Have spare protein at home if you need it, and life catches up with you.
Yeah.
So here we are. We have another client scenario. Just to catch everyone up, we had reached out on social media through our Facebook group and through Instagram asking for those of you who maybe had been clients of ours in the past or family members, friends, hey, if you're not making progress and maybe you're doing it on your own or you know someone who feels like they're always doing the right thing with nutrition but they're not making progress, send us your information and Alex and I will go through and see if we can maybe help and give you some ideas. If you haven't watched it, watch our previous episode. We did a great client scenario there of a male client, or I'm not sure if he was a client, but of a male situation or scenario. And now we've got a female who's totally different. So, Alex, I'll pitch this one to you and
Okay.
we'll see if we can work through it. So,
Sounds good.
This is a 45-year-old female. We'll call her Sally. Her name is not Sally, but call her Sally. She says her weight has completely plateaued at about 185 pounds. She's 5'6". She says her current macros are 150 grams of protein, 110 grams of carbs, and 50 grams of fat, and that totals 1,490 calories a day. She has a sedentary job. However, recently she's dedicated herself to increasing her daily steps up from 2,000 steps a day to 8,000 to 9,000 steps a day. So that's
really
awesome.
good.
Huge jump. She is consistently drinking 64 to 72 ounces of water a day. She also consistently works out 3 days a week. This includes indoor cycling classes that are a combination of strength and cardio. Her goal is fat loss, and she hasn't seen the scale or a change in her body composition in months.
Okay.
So, initial thoughts, where would you start?
Yeah. So my initial thoughts is it sounds like that Sally has been dieting for quite some time. If she is feeling like she's completely plateaued at her current weight and she hasn't seen any change in months, then, she's been dieting for some time and it looks like she might be getting kind of tired of not making any progress and she doesn't know what to do. And so that's why she reached out. And in this situation, what I would do is I would encourage Sally, not just tell, I would encourage her that, hey, I think it's time to take a break from dieting. I know that sounds quite strange that you are going to a nutrition coach looking to lose body fat and your nutrition coach is saying, hey, it's not time to diet. But honestly, this is a very common scenario that I would see often is that potential clients or current clients are coming to us, have been dieting for quite some time, and their body is just not changing. And so I think in those situations, it's time to switch gears, do a anti-diet or just focusing on, some other goals and working from there. I know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, this is, of course, we don't have all the information, but when she says the scale or her body composition hasn't changed in months, and I think 185-pound female with 1,490 calories, like that is low, really, really
Very
low.
low.
Initially my gut reaction goes, no way. There's no way that you're not it's not moving. And but then again, it can be, and there's the case where it's too much and you do need a diet break. And there's a lot of research out there showing that diet breaks are beneficial mentally and physically. And what the benefit of these diet breaks is that you start to then boost your metabolism, because as you become a smaller individual, your metabolism slows. And by strategically, you have to do it the right way, strategically adding calories back in, you can then slowly start to reverse any of that metabolic slowdown. And like you said, we do this a lot, to take this step back and eat a little bit more and really change the whole dynamic that Sally's got going on right here. I think Sally's trying too hard, quite
Yeah.
frankly. Like 110 grams carbs and 50 grams fat with 150 grams protein. I don't even know what that would look like,
It's a
honestly,
lot of
when in
protein shakes, a lot of egg whites.
like an actual food.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be, that's such a small amount of fat for
Yeah.
such a large amount of protein. How are you even eating real food?
Yeah. So I think that could be even a situation there, is that if your macros are skewed in a way, just like this, then you are forced to consume a lot of protein shakes, a lot of not necessarily fake food, but just you're not eating meals. And so that could be another reason why you're not necessarily seeing progress, because yes, how much you eat matters, but what you eat matters as well. So if you can focus on eating some real quality foods, whole food sources, getting your fiber intake up, just doing that, your body tends to make some changes. So it's not just all about how much you're eating. So in this scenario, what me and you were talking a little bit off camera is that, we do would increase the calories to start, and even at your current body weight of 185 pounds, with an activity factor of just 12, because you are in a sedentary job, so you're not necessarily moving a lot throughout the day. You are working out 3 times a week, but we did not want to necessarily set the activity factor too high. At minimum, you need 2,220 calories just to essentially maintain your weight on paper. And if we were to take a deficit from there, even not considering that we're trying to lose weight here, but we want to take a step-by-step approach of bringing your calories up. When you mentioned that reverse dieting, it's not all about just going to your maintenance. If you've been consuming really, really low calories for a long time, it's slowly bringing those calories up. And so we were thinking about 1,776 calories a day would be your daily calorie goal for a little bit, at least to start, just to kind of, see how that goes with for you. What were you thinking about in terms of the macro breakdown? What are some of your thoughts behind that at
Yeah, I mean,
1776 calories?
1776 calories might seem like such a jump from someone who's eating this 1490, but it's not really.
It's a snack,
Yeah, she's doing great
a
with
protein
protein,
bar.
which is good. I would cheat the protein up just a tiny bit. Let's get it to 160. For someone her age, there's some research out there talking about how, the higher fats is beneficial. So I would take fat up just a tiny bit more. Let's take it up to 60. And then we've got to increase the carbs. Like we need to but just because we're bringing calories up, and that's the only place really that we need to pull them up. Protein is up as high as we need it to go. Otherwise, we are running the risk against quality of life, to me, without knowing this person. Now, if
Yeah.
we were to meet Sally and Sally goes, I love eating keto, keto, that's my jam. I love that. I love to eat that way. Then that's a totally different scenario. But we're assuming that she likes to eat a standard diet of, all the food groups. Okay. So with that, I look at these numbers and go, Sally can't even go out to eat and celebrate, her dad's birthday. This is,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking this. So with that, I would like to give Sally 150 grams of carbs and 60 grams of fat. So 160 protein, 150 carb, 60 fat. That makes it an almost even split and a nice, simple plan where she can eat. She can go out to eat if she wants to. She can have balanced meals. And we can start to do this little diet break, a structured diet break where she's not going to lose progress, but we can start to reverse some of this metabolic adaptation that's happened. And she can continue to make progress, actually. And then if we want to
Yeah.
cut again in the future, we can. But I think she'll
Yeah.
actually lose weight by eating more because she's
I
going to
think
have more
too.
energy.
Yeah, I was just about to mention or bring up the notion of, what are some things that I tend to see when somebody starts actually eating more after following a lower calorie diet for so long. That was one thing. You start to have more energy. So what's going to happen is you naturally start to move more, whether you start to fidget at your desk, you want to stand because you have all of this pent up energy. Instead of sitting all day, you might find that instead of your daily step goal of 8 to 9,000, you're like, actually, I want to walk the next block and back because I just have more energy. And so what tends to happen is now you're moving more. And so you're essentially burning more calories, and that can naturally help with some kind of fat loss. Another thing that I tend to see when individuals have been aiming for low calories for so long is sometimes they think they're aiming for that amount of calories, but what happens is your natural hunger cues start to override your ability to follow that diet plan. So you might find yourself nibbling while you're cooking dinner, and you don't even realizing that you're nibbling on this, you're nibbling on that. You pass through the office and you see a little bit of candy, and so you just grab some, and it's almost out of habit, and you don't even realize because you're just hungry. And so what you might think you're doing with following 14, around 1400 calories, 1500 calories, you actually might be eating much more than that. Maybe you're eating 1800 calories from just little bites, sips, taste, licks, those type of things throughout the day because you're just naturally hungry. So when you're aiming for something a little bit more, you start seeing yourself, oh, I don't really have those hunger cues. I can walk by that candy dish now and not even grab candy because I'm not even hungry. Or as I'm cooking dinner, I no longer feel the need to nibble because I'm starving. I can allow it to cook and then I can eat my, planned meal. And so those are two things that I tend to see happen almost right away when somebody starts eating more, and then all of a sudden they start losing weight, and you're like, well, what's this voodoo magic that you have me on? And that's just because your body naturally responds in positive ways from eating more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not they're not trying to be deceptive towards us when clients come in and say, this is what I'm eating. Like you said, it's second nature. We don't even realize that it's happening. What are, not only because this Sally is a 45-year-old female, but I think anyone who is, their main goal is fat loss. What are some changes to her training plan that you might want to encourage her to make?
Yes, absolutely. So she mentioned that her goal is fat loss, and she hasn't seen a change in body composition in months. And so what I would actually suggest Sally to do is to consider changing up some of her exercise sessions. I know that she mentioned that her indoor cycling classes does incorporate a little bit of a strength component, but I feel like that is still heavily biased on cardio. So taking some time to dedicate to a couple strength sessions a week will probably give her a huge payoff in terms of body composition. That way she can go into a gym, whether she's using machines or free weights or, doing any kind of things like that. Even if she does an exercise class that focuses on purely strength training, she's going to start seeing a change in body composition, because in order to change your body composition, you're going to have to change your muscle mass. Cardio helps change your size. I think you told me this once before. Cardio helps change your size, but strength training helps change your shape. So, adding in some strength training is going to help add in some muscle, which then helps change up your body composition. And I know most females are probably like, well, I don't want to bulk. Well, you know what? The moment that you wake up with too much muscle, stop strength training. But I guarantee that's never going to happen. You're never going to wake up and be like, well, this is too much muscle. I've gone way too far. You know,
call me when that happens and
yes.
Tell me what you're doing, please.
In that case, you're genetically gifted, and all you had to do was lift a barbell, and boom, you woke up with too much muscle. But most cases, 99.9%, we're never going to get too bulky. We're never training in that manner to be a bulked out bodybuilder. So yeah, that's what I would encourage Sally to do is let's take a little step back from cycling. You can still include those, maybe once or twice a week, but let's do some dedicated strength training where you're focusing on full body strength training your legs, training your arms, training your core. And that is what's going to give you that body composition change. You're going to start building some more muscle. And then in order to maintain your muscle, your body's metabolism increases because muscle is more metabolically demanding than calories or than fat. So what's going to happen is you might end up eating more calories because now your body has more muscle, and in order to maintain that muscle, you're having to eat a little bit more calories, and now you can diet off a little bit less. So there's tons of benefits and trade-offs to just making a few little lifestyle changes, putting a pause on fat loss goals to work on something else. And then you end up with the goals that you've always wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more. I think when I look at this client and her information, I see with this limited bit that we have, like I just really see a person who likely feels like they are doing all the right things. And I want to tell them, you can be doing so much less and it end up being so much more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And that's where it's just letting go a little bit, changing things up and learning, and not learning, but maybe accepting that the long road is actually the shortcut. Taking time away from dieting, eating at maintenance, doing some strength training. And then before you know it, you're actually at the body composition you wanted without having to diet on 1,500 calories for the end of time, until the end of time.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great way to end it. So yeah, thank you to Sally for sending her information in. We appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully this was helpful to her and everyone watching. So yeah, and to everyone out there, if you have any topics you'd like us to dive into, please send them to us either in the chat here on the episode, or email them to us. We are always looking for topics to go over. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, see you later.
Bye. Hey everyone. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to get more content on nutrition, health, and wellness. Thank you for watching.